And I am Lee Goldberg. You know that Isaac is back from vacation because we're going right to Snap Maps. Here's a look at some of the conditions and activities that were taking place in the snow today.
That's a big snowman.
Is it a reindeer? No,
I don't know.
I'm not really sure what's going on there.
Oh, even the dogs love it too.
Puppies in the snow is the best. I mean, I have a husky. She never wants to come in. And then the side of Keith's head, also the best. Like, so good.
What happened? Didn't we have this thing where you could put both of us on TV at the same time?
Yeah, that broke.
Okay.
Yeah.
She broke. All right. Hey, there it is. There we go. That would have been a lot more natural, I feel like. Put that in the show notes.
It's Monday. Here we go.
All right. Well, the snow is wrapped up over western and southern Maine. A couple of snow showers behind it. Don't be shocked if you see a few flakes through tonight, but the real accumulating snow is done. Meanwhile, still snowing pretty good over northern and down East Maine. There are the snow showers coming out of the mountains, adding a little dusting of accumulation there and a few towards Augusta as well. But again, a lot heavier here. Up towards Millinocket, Lincoln, and kind of filling on the backside through Greenville. Most of the models have it snowing here through around midnight tonight over parts of down East Maine. So it's going to take a while to get rid of this snow because of the position of the low pressure system. Just a couple of smattering, if you will, of reports out there today, official reports. 3 inches in Saco. Turner, I think, had 3 or 4 inches. We got 2 in Hope. A couple of these still waiting to be updated, obviously. Dover Foxcroft coming with 1.8 inches of snow. Laconia in New Hampshire, 2 inches of snow. So for the most part, this was just kind of a minor storm. Most of us falling, 2 to 4, 3 to 6 on the high end of things. It will be higher than that over extreme down East Maine, though, especially out towards Lubec, I should say, and Eastport as well. By later tonight, they'll probably have 5, 6 inches of snow before this thing wraps out around midnight. After that, tomorrow is a brighter day, but it's cold. Temperatures only in the 20s and teens in the mountains with some pretty gusty winds as well. Guys, our next storm system, believe it or not, looks to be not only rain, but mild rain late in the week. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. In the news now, the mother of Ayla Reynolds filed a wrongful death lawsuit. Today marks 7 years since the toddler went missing. Ayla Reynolds disappeared while in the care of her father, Justin DePietro, while staying at her parental grandmother's house in the Waterville area in 2011.
A judge officially declared Ayla dead in September 2017 after her mother, Trista Reynolds, petitioned the court. This morning, Trista filed a civil lawsuit against DePietro in Cumberland County Superior Court in Portland. A police pursuit ends in a crash with 5 people hurt, including one who is in critical condition, and it was all caught on cell phone video. The man authorities say was behind the wheel appeared in court to hear the charges against him.
Yeah, all this happening as deputies from the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office say there has been a big misconception surrounding the spike mat that got deployed.
Oh my God! Oh no! Oh no!
Cell phone video captures the moment of impact for one of 3 vehicles in a Wyndham crash. 5 people were injured. This, the end of a high-speed police chase Sunday. Deputies from the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office set up a spike mat on Route 302. They say they were trying to stop 29-year-old Dale Tucker of Casco. Deputies say he was pulled over after making threats to people at a home in Wyndham when he took off. As you can see, Tucker tried to avoid the spike mat but lost control of his car and crashed into another car and a truck, which were both parked on the opposite side of the road. Scott Stewart, patrol captain for the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office.
In this case, the speeds got very high. It was a congested area, busy time of day, so the deputies made the correct decision, and that was to stop the pursuit. So the spike mat didn't cause the accident. Him trying to avoid the spike mat is what happened.
This is a matter of State of Maine versus Dale Tucker.
With a black eye and bandage over his cheek, Tucker faced a judge in Cumberland County Superior Court Monday afternoon. He was visibly upset. He faces 6 charges, including domestic violence and driving to endanger. Tucker has a criminal history, which includes a domestic violence conviction in 2014. Bail was set at $25,000 cash or $50,000 surety.
And 2 of the victims of that crash remain in the hospital. At last check, we learned that 82-year-old Barbara Young was in fair condition and 91-year-old Elmer Young was in critical condition.
State police say the death of a Richmond woman over the weekend was a domestic homicide victim. Detectives say that Naomi Mello was shot to death by her longtime boyfriend Kirk Alexander Jr., who then turned the 9mm handgun on himself. Both were shot in the head. The bodies of the couple were found in the kitchen of their home Saturday morning by Mello's 11-year-old son after he woke up. The boy then went to a nearby store and the police were called.
And a difficult story, especially given the involvement of an 11-year-old boy, and the holidays in general can be a difficult time for families and especially young children. So Rebecca Diggins from the Center for Grieving Children is here to help us navigate how to go about talking with kids that might have been dealing with loss over the last year or so. So what do children need most in times of loss?
They really need your love and your attention. That's the most important thing that we talk with families when they call, concerned neighbors. They say, you know, what should we do? What can we do? And really attention, targeted attention, making sure that the kids know that you're there, you're available for whatever they need, for whatever emotions are coming up for them. That's the most important piece.
It feels like there's a lot of pressure during the holidays to be happy. Hey, it's the holidays, everybody be happy. It's not always happy for everybody, and that includes kids. So how do you let them know it's okay if you're not super happy like everybody thinks you're supposed to be?
Yeah, well, I think you lead by example. So what we encourage families to do is to experience and emote whatever you're feeling. So obviously we don't want parents or adults to fall apart in front of their kids, but if you're having a sad moment, to model that for your kid and say, you know, I'm really missing so-and-so right now. I'm really wishing they were here with us right now. And that allows kids to know it's okay to say that. A lot of times kids worry about protecting their parents or other loved ones in their family, and we want them to know it's okay. Whatever is going on for you, if you want to feel happy, feel happy. If you want to celebrate, celebrate. But if there are times when you're feeling sad, go there and give them outlets to do that. Some kids really need physical play, others you listen to music or use art. It's just know your kid or know what they might need to express.
Do you have a busy time of year? And I don't know how else to put it. Like, are the holidays, do you see an uptick in people reaching out to you guys?
For sure, yes. So we do. I would say the two biggest times of year are around the holidays and then also around the end of school when kids are going to have a little bit of unstructure. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's around the holidays, but it's also around times of transition that we find families call, and they are starting to notice more that the kids are needing additional support.
And our last question for adults who might be on the outside of a situation of loss. Is it best to avoid having these tough conversations with kids, or should we engage with them?
Engage, absolutely. I think that what we hear from folks is that when somebody acknowledges that there's a loss, that feels really good. We encourage people to come out and let them know they're thinking of them, holding them in their hearts. You don't need to have long conversations, but just letting them know you're thinking of them really makes a difference.
Rebecca Diggins, the Assistant Program Director for the Center for Grieving Children. Thank you so much.
And Rebecca's going to stick around and join us on Facebook as well during the commercial breaks. If you have questions or comments, Rebecca will stay. So join us on our Facebook Live feed, and we will talk to her more over there.
All right. Coming up, we're going to meet the new chief of the Falmouth Police Department. He's the 7th chief in the department's history.
And a little boy with a really big heart makes a really big donation. We'll have that story.
Thanks, Rebecca. Real quick, we're going to answer some quick questions.
When you're done, just you can take your mic off and you can leave it right there. Thank you.
All right, we've got questions for you already. So.
Yes, let's come on over this way.
On over.
If you want to stand near Lee.
Okay.
Joe is wondering, are there certain signs to watch out for a child who's dealing with grief, who might have trouble processing it? Certain signs to watch for children, if they show any indication that they're having a hard time.
Yeah, I would say any significant change in behavior in general is what you want to be looking for. So if you have a kid who's typically very happy or very talkative and all of a sudden they're very shut down, seem really gloomy, that would be something you would want to pay attention to. There's lots of normal or typical signs of grief, but it's really significant changes in behavior, I would say.
What kind of resources, just out of curiosity, are available for someone who, God forbid, does lose both parents, and you know, who knows what the other family structure might look like? But you know, what kind of resources are available to an 11-year-old boy who might not have either parent? You know?
Yeah, well, we have groups at the center for kids and also the adults or caregivers in their lives. So it doesn't need to be a parent; it could be a grandparent, it could be a concerned family friend. So I would say absolutely, I would encourage people to be calling the center. We can talk about our particular resources, but we're also pretty well versed in the resources around the state of Maine.
Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it so much. Good to have you here.
You'll want to give that microphone back, unless you want us to record the rest of your day, which I'm assuming you don't. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hey, Deb, thanks. We think so, too. So hope you are enjoying the behind-the-scenes look at what we're doing here. Warren's hanging out in Booth Bay. Booth Bay is awesome.
So
Deb
pretty.
also says the children who lose both parents, there should be some type of a fund page that helps them, at least with the first few years.
Yeah.
So it's a great idea.
Hey, Karen. Yeah, so I know a lot of discussion is going on surrounding the Cumberland County Sheriff's deployment of those spike mats. You know, some are wondering why traffic wasn't stopped the other way. They do assure me that they cleared the scene and that they did make the right call. A longtime police lieutenant has been named the next chief of the Falmouth Police Department. John Kilbride is now the 7th chief in the department's history. He replaces Chief Ed Tolan, who's retiring after 45 years in law enforcement. Chief Kilbride was hired as a patrol officer in 1997. He was promoted to sergeant in 2007, then lieutenant the year after. The Portland native developed the K9 program there.
Hyundai unveiled a new system for the 2019 Santa Fe SUV using fingerprints to unlock and start the car. The biometric technology is built into the door handle and ignition button. Owners will register their encrypted fingerprint data for the vehicle. It is the first time the unlocking technology has been built into a vehicle's door handle. So far, the feature is only available in China.
Facebook is under fire once again. The social network giant revealed over the weekend it had exposed private photos of millions of users without permission. The breach occurred over 12 days in mid-September. Facebook says a bug accidentally allowed third-party app developers to access photos that users may not have shared publicly. The company believes nearly 7 million users could be impacted. Well, as we know it, Netflix is a very popular choice when it comes to entertainment.
Some users have been getting emails that ask for an additional payment. So we sent our Verify team out to find out if this is true or just another scam.
Our Verify team helps you find out if that viral post or suspicious email is actually telling the truth. Tonight we spotlight Netflix and some emails people are getting that ask for additional payment details to update your billing. Now the email says if you don't do it, your account will be suspended. So is it real? Clicking on the Update Account link takes you to a page where you need to supply your credit card number and an address. Big red flag. Also, an Ohio Police Department reported that people who don't even have Netflix accounts are getting this email. So Netflix says users should beware of these targeted phishing attempts. An official Netflix email won't ask for details like your credit card number, your social security number, or your account password. You're going to want to forward phishing emails or texts to phishing@netflix.com. And if you opened a suspicious link, Netflix recommends immediately changing your password and contacting your bank if you gave any payment info that might be compromised. So it looks convincing, but we can't verify. No, this validate your payment information email is certainly not legit.
And it seems like in today's world, pretty much everything you should question. I mean, and I feel bad for the legitimate people that are sending out emails and correspondence about trying to get something from you, but I now am second guessing everything just to start off.
There was one recently I actually got into my email that claimed to be from an airline company, but it never indicated which airline. So I ended up not ever opening it, and it just went right to the trash.
I got one from my bank that actually had my bank logo and everything, and I forwarded it to my bank, and they said that's not us. So I'm glad you sent it to us. So, but it looked just like it. So,
you really gotta do your homework these days, huh?
Don't trust anybody except for us. In a record year for tasty entries, Swedish amateur baker Jacqueline Brahms walked away with the prestigious prize, the People's Prize. It's at an annual gingerbread house baking competition in Stockholm. The 21-year-old said she agonized over her beautiful baking abode, making a 6-sided house complete with marzipan elves and icing railings. Oh, so good. She held off some stiff competition from a record field of 153 entrants to emerge as the victor. Do not try that at home. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
All right, coming up, Sam the Bottle Man strikes again. We'll find out how much money he raised this year for a really good cause.
And Keith the Weatherman also strikes again. his forecast.
Oh,
when we come back.
Liam! Yeah!
He loves it.
So here's the best part for those of you at home. Liam's gonna have to give his bonus right to me for losing in fantasy football. Let's go!
Oh wait, how did you do with your fantasy football game the other night?
We don't know yet. It comes down to tonight. I am currently losing to Liam, but I like my chances.
A certain relative of Lee's over the weekend suggested punishment. Oh, you did?
Yeah. Well, that also comes down to tonight with the same player.
He suggested if
the same player in both leagues
loses fantasy football, that Lee should have to do something embarrassing on air to make, an example of how gambling is not good. Do we want to say what that was?
Really gambling.
Well, you're betting.
Well, what's going on, Christian?
They almost proved fantasy football might be the whole the daily fantasy. They proved I think that was close to betting because it's
like DraftKings.
Well, they've also now legalized gambling everywhere. So, every state now has the right to do it. So they've given it up to state jurisdiction. So it's going to happen in Maine this year, 2019. I think it's going to be one of the first things on the legislature, and you'll be seeing stories about it right here on News Center now. Because it's going to be a big deal. Big deal. Be able to go into restaurants and bars and bet on sporting events. Big business. Big money, big money, big money. What's up, Pat? Yeah, Christian, the Patriots, not good. Oh, that was my Karen you said hello to.
Sam.
I didn't know it was my Karen.
What?
You said hi, Karen. I didn't know it was my Karen.
Oh, yeah, it's your Karen.
Well, now I know.
It's your Karen.
I think that was fair.
Yeah, Liam gets a bonus for putting up with Keith. No doubt about that. We all get bonuses for that. Center for Grieving Children is a fantastic resource.
It is a great resource. Hey, do you mind if I ad-lib a little bit off the top?
Thank you, Libby. What are we
I'll
doing?
hit the main points of what you put in there, but I'm just not going to read it verbatim. Are you okay with that?
Wow.
Sorry.
Be that way.
I just don't want to commit to holding the thing. This thing.
Do you want me to hold it like this for you?
Yeah, and I'll read it like this. Yeah.
If I had known we were going to be out in the newsroom, I would not have put so many numbers on here.
That's fine. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't know.
I got the numbers committed, but in a certain way.
Okay,
Well, I still have to say his age and how many years he's been collecting and blah, 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 blah.
A lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure.
there you go.
Am I right, Michael? It's a lot of pressure. Every year for the last 3 years, Sam Rideout, a 10-year-old, has become known as Sam the Bottle Man because he collects cans, or the Can Man, for donations to the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital.
Yeah, so year one, he collected $900, which is unbelievable. Year two, he got $2,000 worth, which is obviously better. And year three, $6,000 he raised with cans, bottles, and donations, all to go out and buy a bunch of presents and then bring them to the Children's Hospital at Barbara Bush. So today, he's in 4th grade. He got picked up at school
How cool.
by the police department and given a ride to drop off all the gifts.
Challenge coin from the police department.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Thank you for doing what you do. The lights on for me? There you go. One more, I think. There you go.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. When I was 7 and I was walking through Toys R Us and I saw a Toys for Tots bin, and I just wanted to use my birthday money and go buy some toys for them.
Sure. Definitely think we thought it was going to be a one-time thing, you know. We thought he would probably collect maybe 60 or 70 bucks and, you know, we'd take him in, he had his moment, and that would be it.
Can I take this one? It makes me feel good because I was in the hospital. I had Kawasaki's disease. It's very rare. And I just wanted to keep doing it because they were so nice to me and they took care of me.
The joy he gets out of it, like getting that, you know, the feeling that he has, you can just see it in his face, and it's awesome. I mean, and it's not just him, it's the whole family, you know, like we all just get so excited for it. It's amazing. Such a positive thing, and for kids, and you know, and he's gotten to involve other kids in it, which is really nice. You know, like kids have brought tons of bottles, and so I mean, it reaches beyond just him, and it's really a community, and a lot of his classmates, just kids that he's played sports with, everything. It's been unbelievable.
And as you can see, his little brother, big sister were totally into it as well. And in fact, the little brother was talking about how he wants to take it over too and make it like a family affair.
Setting a good example.
I mean, isn't that great? When I was 10 years old, I promise you, I mean, I just wasn't thinking about gathering a bunch of stuff to give to other people, you know.
Right.
But
when you were 10 years old, likely, on a day like today, you were outside playing in the snow.
Well, there was no electricity, so I didn't really have a choice back then.
Back in the day?
Back in the day?
Back in the day.
I was going uphill both ways, baby.
It was a pretty festive little snow, though, I thought. You guys all right?
Yeah, well, wet and heavy.
The
I'm all
flakes
set.
were so big, it was like pelting me in the eyeballs.
Yeah, but it's heavy to shovel. You don't shovel. You don't do manual labor, so you don't know.
We're complaining.
That's not true. I do lots of manual labor. You obviously haven't seen my Instagram lately, where I'm putting up a new shower.
I don't even follow you on Instagram.
The truth revealed.
How can I be an influencer if Lee doesn't follow me? It's just not going to work out. I'm actually hurt by that. All right, so we got a couple snow showers over the western part of the state. Most of the snow, though, done over western and southern Maine. Still going on over down east and northern Maine. You can see those snow showers there. And we'll see more of those tonight. But again, as far as the accumulating snowfall, we're shut down here over the southern and western half of the state, but still quite a bit of snow kind of backfilling in as you go towards Bangor. So this part of the storm is actually going to get a little stronger over the next few hours, and this line here will be your new snow line. So again, a place like Bangor probably going to fill back in pretty nicely here as the night goes on and the snow continues through around midnight. Here's snow totals as of now. Windham, the winner at 5 inches, Portland 4.3, Biddeford sitting at 4 inches, Turner at 4 as well, Orono 4 inches, 3.7 in Brewer. So all like relatively uniform stuff, right? You could say 2 to 4 for most of us, 3 to 6 on the high end. So yeah, a baby little storm, but down East Maine will end up over 6 inches in spots by the time the storm is actually done, because it does have several more hours of snow to go. And you can see that here, 8 o'clock, 9, 10, 11, still snowing over down East Maine. Midnight, and then it clears out tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is a relatively bright day, but it's cold and it's breezy, so it feels like it's in the teens most of the day despite the sunshine. Should get a pretty nice day in on Wednesday. Temperatures recover at least into the 30s on Wednesday under mostly sunny skies, and then Thursday looks like a good day too, upper 30s to around 40 degrees and dry until late on Thursday when our next storm system starts moving in. And that storm system is not what you would think. So we have this burst of cold and windy conditions tomorrow and a little bit through Wednesday morning. That high, though, shifts into a more neutral position through Wednesday afternoon, Thursday. Those are pretty nice days, again, relatively mild. But that sets the stage for our next storm on Friday that is kind of developing down to the south and brings some of that warmer air with it. And as a result, looks like a rainer. You know, you certainly can't rule out the possibility of starting as a mix in spots, especially the mountains, on Friday, but we get warm sectored pretty hard here Friday into Saturday morning and could get a couple of inches of rain with that. So for ski areas, kind of a grinchy forecast, and a lot of us along the coastline will burn off all our snow before we even get to that storm. So the hopes of a white Christmas for many children along the coastline will come down to a clipper system on Monday, which is Christmas Eve. And right now it looks like a light little hit of snow could miss us. Not going to be a big storm either way. Might be a little mood snow for us. But this rain on Friday and Saturday could be in the mid-50s in southern Maine while it's raining. That is an absolute snow eater. So we'll see what we end up with by the time it's all said and done.
I like that mood snow, like festive flurries.
I like that.
Did you say that's Friday?
An inch or two.
So that means that if I can wait 4 more days to shovel, I won't have to because it's going to go away anyway.
That is an option. Yeah,
All
you just wait it out. Probably be gone by Thursday at your house.
That may happen.
There's a chance. With all that child labor.
There's a chance that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're not done.
Oh, my favorite intro.
We saw earlier today how people were spending their day outside, but plenty opting to stay. Oh, sorry, I'm not snapping with you.
Left me alone on
I
this
was so
one.
excited to just get to it. All right, snap. Here we go. People are wrapping inside.
And wrapping my gifts.
I want to know where you got that taco and avocado wrapping paper from.
That is actually pretty cool.
Okay, we're decorating the tree with a train. That's so classic.
The tree is exactly. It's totally New England. I love it.
My dogs would destroy that.
That's the problem with animals. You can't do a lot under the tree.
No.
And
back to the grind.
What are we hammering?
Let's. Oh, what's going on here?
See what that is.
Are we making ornaments?
Okay,
it's a coconut.
Yep, good. Couldn't really see, and I was a little concerned.
Coconut weather.
Now it makes total sense to me.
Tropical is a state of mind. Am I right? Okay.
You're right.
Get it? Because the coconut. Okay. News Center Maine at 5:30 is coming up in just a few minutes. Rob Caldwell is here with a preview. Hey, Rob.
Hi, guys. The numbers show that more and more teenagers in this country are vaping. What might the consequences of that be? And where is that trend heading? We'll take a look at just why this is happening and what it might mean for the country. Also coming up, 1 week from right now, it'll be Christmas Eve. You may have finished your shopping, but have you finished your shipping? When do packages have to be on the road to get where you want them by Christmas? We'll check out the deadlines and offer some tips on what to do. Those stories and more straight ahead on News Center at 5:30. Lee, Lindsay.
Rob, thanks so much. Stay with us. Braindrops when we come back. Was I supposed to read this at some point?
Well, that's when I looked at that, but then I saw that.
Oh.
So.
Yeah.
But I was
confused
because
too.
I was looking at that going, I don't know. Is that even English right now? I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
I know it's not complete sentences, so I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something. So yes, for those of you scoring at home, Big Daddy needs Christian McCaffrey and David Moore to have average to below average games, and I will win in my 2 really important leagues easily.
What is average?
Well, he's averaging 25 points a game, McCaffrey. That's his average. So if he gives me half of that, I'm going to win.
My dad's email is even weirder than that.
On the road and has to share with Kamara. Plus, I saw Mark Ingram, he just twisted his ankle in warm-ups. Not going to play.
That's not what it sounds like.
Right. See, it's all going to come down to though. I feel like it's just a arsenal of points that on both sides.
All right. Big board again.
That is true, but the thing about McCaffrey
I like this. Dot Earth.
Even if they're down by 20, which is certainly.
Have you ever seen that E-Bombs World video?
Here's
the Earth.
Me back with that.
And if
Yeah.
they get down by
Here's
a
the
ton,
Earth.
even better,
Round.
so receiver too.
No, I haven't
So
seen.
I want them
let's go-
throwing the ball.
let's
I
just
don't
go
want
full
Carolina with
question,
the lead.
and then we'll come
I want
to
them to be
this.
playing from behind the whole time.
Yeah, E-Bombs World.
College
The value of
humor.
my guys.
Yes.
I might get a cheap
So that was
touchdown,
before
maybe like a
YouTube.
Hail Mary at the end. David Moore catches it and lose 42-7. And
I would put links to funny E-Bombs
I'm
World
gonna text
videos
you
in my
maybe
Instant Messenger profile.
Yep.
I also love those videos.
What about
Right?
like a wave in?
Why am I
Oh my God, it was cool to have an away message, wasn't it?
Over there. That's it. We're gonna put you on the other side since you don't follow me. Down here in the core
Oh, all right.
of the earth.
Today's show went by fast.
I think. Yeah. So guys, this is week 2 of our Whole30 situation.
How's it going?
It's going okay. So far, so good.
You're
So-
looking real svelte.
It's
You look totally different.
I know. It's a lot of grocery shopping.
You look hungry, is what you look.
I'm starved.
And really
I'm
sad.
starved for attention, Keith.
All right. Today's Brain Drops, I'm still feeding off the questions I got last week, which are great. Here it is. When we see a meteor across the sky, is there any way of roughly knowing how far away it is? Like, is it as far as Connecticut or further? All right, that's a good question. The easy answer to that is most meteors are burning up about 100 kilometers above your head. Because that's where the atmosphere starts burning them up, right? They're flying all over space, but we only see them as meteors when they burn up in the atmosphere. However, all of this math is for a reason. It's 100 kilometers assuming you are directly below the meteor that you see, which isn't usually the case, right? I mean, you'd have to be looking straight up. The meteor would have to be coinciding right above your head. So we did a little math. Let's say Lindsay's over here. That's her horizon line with the Earth, which is round. Lee's over here on this side. You're all looking at the same meteor as me. We did a little math, used the Pythagorean theorem to figure out what exactly the distance is here. So how far away could you be and still see the same meteor? The answer is about 1,000 kilometers. So it's possible that Lee and Lindsay could be a couple thousand kilometers away from each other and see the same meteor, which means that there's a pretty big range. The answer is 100 kilometers above the Earth's atmosphere, but depending on where in the sky you're observing it, it could be over 1,000 kilometers away from you.
So it could be
good?
states away.
Right, and then Lee would go on Instagram over here and follow me.
That's me falling off the flat part of the Earth.
That's when that's likely to happen.
Cinemate at 5:30 starts right now.
So where's Connecticut in this equation?
And why did you do kilometers instead of miles? I don't even know what that means.
We're hung up on the metric system.
That's so nobody would know what the hell he was doing.